Good afternoon, all. You may be seated. And I do want to thank you for coming in. I'm sure you guys are getting a little hot out there, but this is going to be the last event today until this evening. We got an event going on, so you'll get a chance to go to the hotel and cool off. But thank you very much for coming here this afternoon. Today, we mark an important milestone with the Housing for 21st Century Act now law. We've taken a major step to expand affordable housing, support working families, and strengthen communities across our nation. Stable housing is the foundation of opportunity. When families have a safe place to live, children can focus on learning, parents can focus on work, and neighborhoods can thrive. That progress gives us the solid ground we need to turn our full attention to. And that is the next essential priority of this administration. We talked about housing, uh, how that was going to be a major affordable housing, how that was going to be a major priority of this administration. The 21st century bill that's now law takes a major step in that. And so, one of the things we talked about without going into a lot of detail about it is, all along I wanted uh, for the corporations that are buying homes to I wanted a 5 year limit. You buy the house, it's yours for 5 years. We got 2 years, but that's bipartisan work, and I want to appreciate both sides of Congress, both sides of the aisle working on that. We made a lot of progress with that. But now let's turn the page to education, and that's why we are advancing back to basics. Back to basics is about restoring excellence in America's classrooms. It means stronger early reading and mathematics instruction so every child masters the fundamentals. It means uh, better support for our teachers and the heart of our education system. They are the heart. They so that they stay in the classroom instead of leaving the profession. And even as we're getting ready to crank up here this year, we still have that problem. And that's why we're going to now focus on back to basics. We've got to get teachers in the classroom who are willing to make a commitment to it. You heard me say this time and time again. Um, my English teacher, which I have the biggest honor to have her in my Sunday school class at church, um, she tells a story about how her and three other teachers started the same day um, in the district I went to, and they retired 30 years later from the same district. We need to have longevity in these districts. That's where the connection is made with these students. That's where the children get a chance to excel. And when I'm talking about investment, I'm talking about, again, getting our teachers to stay in the classroom, investment in the tools, training, and resources students need to succeed. And it means addressing the staffing shortages that hit high need suburban and rural districts hardest, where the teacher turnover too often disrupts learning year after year. And back to basics is going to put a stop to that, or at least I hope it does put a stop to that. Again, we want to start paying our educators, our teachers, a livable wage. Too many of our teachers in this country are at or below the poverty level. That should not stand in the United States of America. And back to basics will solve that. And we've already began some of the work through expanded teacher retention incentives, performance-based bonuses, accelerated loan forgiveness for educators. That's a big thing that we got going. That are serving in high priority districts, and professional development focused on literacy and math. We're giving teachers the support they deserve. We're also expanding mentoring programs and leadership pathways so experienced educators can guide the next generation of teachers. And I'm sure you might have heard the news. My wife is one of those. And I don't think a whole lot of people know about this, but she is to become a principal at her at her district, and I'm very, very proud of her. And that's what I'm talking about. She spent 30 years in the classroom, and now she's going up to leadership. That's what we need in this country. We need more of those people to invest in their career. Too many of our teachers are starting their careers at 7:30 a.m. and leaving at 3:15 the same day. I've seen it happen. That should not happen. We will work with Congress, governors, state education leaders, and local school boards to make sure resources reach the classrooms where they are needed most. We will measure progress by results, improve reading and math proficiency, higher teacher retention rates, and stronger outcomes for students in every community. Education is the great equalizer. When we get the back to basics right, or the basics right, and that's strong teachers, strong curriculum, strong support for our students, we give every American child the chance to reach their full potential. That's how we build a stronger economy, stronger communities, and a stronger country for the next generation. The housing bill was a critical first step. Now we move on to education with the same determination and focus. Back to basics is not a slogan, it's a commitment to excellence, opportunity, and the belief that every child deserves a first rate education. We will keep delivering on that commitment. And as long as this administration is in power, education will be at the forefront. Thank you all very much.